Here we go. All right. Welcome to Saturday morning slow flow. Start off in a comfortable seated position. And if you want to start off in easy pose with the legs in front or ankles crossed, that's fine. Or you might feel it's comfortable to bring the bottoms of the feet together like a book and sitting up nice and tall. So find a spot that feels good for you where you can get rooted and grounded into your practice. And if you feel like you need a more grounding practice, place your palms down and touch your knees. But if you feel like you're wanting to be a little more receptive, flip the palms up towards the sky. Find a soft spot to focus your gaze or close your eyes and focus the spot behind the third eye or in between the eyebrows. And take a few seconds here to settle in, find a spot, and then take a nice full inhale in through the nose, focusing your gaze or having your gaze inward. And then exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Let's repeat that a couple of times. So taking a full inhale in through the nose and sighing it out. One more time. Nice, long, full inhale in. Inhale just a little bit more. Hold at the top of the breath. And then when you exhale, make it really loud and audible. And then allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm here. And this is a rhythm that you're going to set, and it's going to be the anchor in your practice. So starting off with the rate, maybe notice how long of an inhale you're taking, and try to match or make your exhale longer. And then for depth, notice how deep of an inhale you need. And as you exhale, try to match that force or that energy. So just notice rate and depth right now. Without judgment, notice how your body now is moving with the rate and depth of your breath. So what movements does it make as you inhale? What happens as it exhales? And without judgment, consider points of resistance. So is there any resistance as you inhale in movement? Do you feel like you can get full chest expansion? Or as you exhale, do you feel like there's a sticking point? It's not anything to change, it's just things to consider as you practice. Because the one thing I want you to consider in your practice today is just to be where you're at without judgment. Know that this is the time that you're carving out for yourself and self-care. So be where you're at, no judgment. and move in a way which is going to serve you. Awesome. So just continue this right here, and let's start making a little more movement with our breath. So using your nose, just make circles. And your circle can go clockwise or counterclockwise. And it can be as big or as little as you would like. And you can change your mind as you're doing your circles. You may want to make a big one time, and a small one another time. And these first few moments in the practice too, as you begin to move, once again, it's just your time to make an assessment. You're just warming up, so don't try to go in too deep. And if you haven't reversed direction, go ahead. And then find some stillness with the head back in neutral. Awesome. Okay, take your hands behind your back and make a fist. Point the fist down to the ground and look up. Okay. And then guide your fist over to your right hip. Some of us are going to be able to set our fist on our right hip. Others of us are just having the motion direct there. And come up nice and tall. And you should feel a gentle stretch in your left shoulder. So you have a little bit of external rotation going and a little bit of retraction with the scapula coming towards the spine. If you want anything deeper, maybe guide your right elbow towards your left arm or towards your side. And then to add a little depth, bring the right ear and right shoulder together. So you might feel a gentle stretch on the left side. And you can focus your gaze at your right knee or directly in front of you. And return back to the rate and depth of breath that you set. And then bring your fist back into center, point your fist down to the ground, look up. And then from here, tuck chin into chest. So the fists are still staying pointed to the ground. Chin is tucked into the chest. And now you've got an opportunity to take both shoulders, externally rotate and depress your scapulas. So the points of the scapulas or the shoulder blades are coming towards the spine. Beautiful. Keep the fist pointed down, look up, neutral gaze. And then guide your fist over to your left hip. Cool. All right, and then play around here. What do you need? First off, get situated with the right shoulder externally rotating and coming down. Maybe the scapula is coming in towards the midline, the left elbow is coming in. Take a nice full inhale and then bring the left ear and left shoulder together. Once again, you can take your gaze at your left knee or have it neutral. And then use your inhale to come back into center, fist point down to the ground, look on up. And then release, bring your hands down to the side. All right, reach your arms up high. And this time, bring your right hand behind your back. Give yourself a kickstand. Left hand on right knee. Come up nice and tall here. Create length in your spine. Root down through your sit bones. And then make a choice. Do you want to rotate over to the right side? Maybe take your gaze out over your right shoulder. Or you can just hang out and not deepen the rotation. And maintain your long spine. Maybe use your exhale to rotate deeper. Okay, your left hand is staying on your right knee, and then reach your right arm up, and then flex over to your left knee. So you have a rotation that serves you in your spine, but then you're adding a little bit of flexion. And you can flip your right palm down or up and kind of play around and flirt around with what you need in your shoulder. And then slowly guide yourself back up. Right hand comes behind the back. Reach both arms up overhead and switch sides. So left hand comes behind behind the spine. Use it as a prop. And then reach your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Come up nice and tall. And then make choices. How deep do you need to rotate? Letting your cervical spine be the last thing that rotates and looks over your left shoulder. Beautiful. And then reach your left arm up. Have the rotation that'll serve you, and then add your lateral flexion. So reaching to your right knee. We're flexing in the direction, depending on how deep you rotate. And once again, play around, palm down or palm up. One more breath. Don't let the rate and depth get cheated here. And then when you're ready, reach both arms up to the sky. Bring both hands up to center, look up. Give yourself a little mini back bend and then come on down. Cool. All right, come into tabletop position. So knees are underneath your hands. Knees are underneath your hips. Hands are spread nice and wide underneath your shoulders. Root down through your hands, plant your hands, root your knees to the ground. And then open up with a few cat-cows. So when you inhale, drop your belly, look on up, tuck under toes for a cow pose. And then as you exhale, chin into chest, belly button into the spine, push your toenails into the mat for cat. And then flow into cow as you inhale, cat as you exhale. And take your sweet time doing this because it might feel good to hang out for a cycle of breath in cat or cow or both. And if at any point you want to add a little variation, you always may. So that can be bringing the right hip and right shoulder together, making a C shape with your spine. Or some of us might feel good coming into child's pose and then arching up into tabletop and then pushing down into child's pose. So take the next few cycles of breath to find what you need, because much time transitioning and being in your version of cat-cow, that will serve you for your practice. There's no right or wrong. Slowly finish up whatever round you are on, and meet in your tabletop pose. Awesome. Reach your right leg behind you. Point your right toes down, push out through your right heel, push down, root down through your hands. Create a nice, long, beautiful spine. And then reach your left arm parallel to your left ear. If you want, you can flirt around with coming on left fingertips first, and then reach. And imagine that you're gluing your right hand and left knee into the mat. If you want to create lift, it's like you're dragging them together, but they're not moving. And then as you exhale, bring your left elbow and right knee together around your back. Create length, balancing table as you inhale. Knee and elbow come together as you exhale. Create length. Knee and elbow come together as you exhale. You'll stay here for a cycle of breath, maintaining your strong foundation. Create length. And then plant your left hand down. Right toes come to the mat. Maybe push out through your right heel. Beautiful. Place your right foot onto the ground. Right toes point towards the right side of the mat. Root your left hand and left knee. Reach your right arm up. Awesome. Okay, from here, your right arm is coming up towards the sky. You're going to slowly bring yourself up. So the right hand is coming towards the right, or to the back side of your mat. Left hand is coming towards the front of your mat. So now you're in a version of gate pose, and it might feel good to rotate your left leg. So then it's sideways, but that's up to you. Okay, slowly guide your right hand down the outside of your right thigh, down your leg, and your left arm will reach up to the sky. And you can make a choice. Do you want how far you want your left hand to reach? Palm down or palm up. But really maintain your foundation in your right foot and left knee. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, come on up, arms out to a T. Slowly cartwheel your hands down, hands underneath shoulders, and then have your right knee replace your left. Beautiful. All right, switching sides. So left leg comes behind you at hip height, rooting down through right knee and left hand. And then come up on your right fingertips and then reach your right arm parallel to your right ear. Great length here. And then as you exhale, knee and elbow come together around your back. Create length as you inhale. Knee and elbow come together as you exhale. Create length, full inhale. And this last time, knee and elbow come together as you exhale, but stay for a cycle of breath. And then create length. If you're a beat ahead or behind, that's totally fine. And then plant your right hand onto the mat, left toes plant on the mat, push out through the left heel. And then suction your left foot down. All right, bring your left hand high to the sky. Create your foundation here, and then reach your left hand towards the left leg, right arm up. Awesome. All right, left hand to the outside of the left thigh. Reach your right arm high to the sky. And then in your own way, slowly start sliding down, creating some lateral flexion here. Keeping the palm down or up. What do you need? What will serve you best? No right, no wrong. One more breath. And then reach up, arms out to a T. Maintain a foundation here. Cartwheel your hands down, return back into tabletop pose. Bring your big toes together, knees come wide, child's pose. And remember, this is a pose you can always return to at any point in your flow. If you choose to come to this child's pose in your flow, don't worry, I'll cue you when you can meet us in downward dog. We'll stay together. Don't worry, I won't leave anyone behind. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly find tabletop. So I think we've done a good assessment. What's going on today? You know how to take this. All right, when you're ready, tuck under your toes, bring your knees up, find your first plank pose. And then send your hips high to the sky, first downward dog. And if you want, take your feet as wide as your mat. Make this a wide downward dog. And it might feel good to move around a little bit. Maybe pedal the legs. And then find some stillness in your downward dog. Bring your feet at hip distance apart if you took them wide. And then slide forward into plank pose. Drop your knees if you want. I will here. And then lower down slowly so the torso touches the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift chin, lift chest. Relax your butt. Cobra. Lower down as you exhale. Cobra pose as you inhale. One more time. Lower down. This time come up a little higher if you can. Don't overdo it. And then release everything down, push into plank, and then downward dog. Cool. We'll only be here for just another breath. And then as you exhale, walk your feet to the back of your hands, finding your fold. Your halfway lift. Fold forward. Root down through your hands. Reach up, rise up, arms come high in the sky. Full inhale. Fold as you exhale. Find your halfway lift. Plant your hands, step or jump back into plank pose. You can always drop your knees, but whenever you're ready, lower down slowly. If you're ready to chaturanga, hover, and then find your back bend, cobra or up dog. Downward dog for 5 breaths. And if you want to skip the full 5, you can take a child's pose. Return back to the rate and depth of breath you set. Two more breaths. And then as you exhale, walk your feet to the back of your hands, finding your fold. Your halfway lift. Your fold. Reach up, rise up, arms come high to the sky, nice full inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Find a halfway lift. Plant your hands, right foot comes back, high runner's lunge. Root down through your left foot. Come onto your right toes. Look forward. Cool. Face the camera this way. So you're in your high runner's lunge. Drop your right knee. Untuck your right toes. And then place both your hands on top of your knee. Your left thigh. Root down. And then when you're ready, bring your arms up high to the sky. And if you want to play around here, you can give yourself cactus arms and look up. Or you can play around too. You might feel good to laterally flex from side to side. But maintain your foundation. Cool. And then bring your hands into heart center. Come up nice and tall. And then take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. For a little twist. All right, yogis, tuck under your right toes and lift your right knee up. Awesome. And then when you're ready, spin your right heel down. Come on up to a warrior one with prayer hands. And then when you feel ready, reach your arms up for your warrior one. Two more breaths here. And then frame your left foot, step left foot back to meet right, plank pose. Take it through your flow, or skip it and go into downward dog or child's pose. Two more breaths. And then reach your right leg high to the sky, three-legged downward dog. First three-legged downward dog, so maybe take a bend in the knee, open up the hip. And then find your traditional three-legged downward dog. And then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And then drop your left knee, untuck your left toes. Okay. Without dumping weight into your left hand, place your right hand to the inside of your right knee and slowly come out onto the lateral edge of the right foot. So you should feel a stretch going in the adductors a little bit. And maybe because of the eversion in the ankle, you might feel a stretch in the outer ankle as well. Kind of a half corkscrew pose going on. And then when you're ready, place your right foot down. Right hand goes back onto the inside of the right foot. Tuck under left toes. Left foot comes to the outside of the left hand, so you have this awkward forward fold that's a little wider than usual. Bending the knees. And then walk your hands out just a little bit. Find a halfway lift up on your fingertips. Heel toe, your feet hip distance apart. Fold forward. And then when you're ready, reach up, rise up, arms come up high to the sky. Nice full inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. And then find your halfway lift. Plant your hands. Left foot comes back into your high runner's lunge. And then drop your left knee down, untuck your left toes. And then in your own way, slowly find your hands on top of your right thigh. Beautiful. Go ahead, bring your arms up overhead if you would like, and make any arm variations that'll serve you. Maybe you found doing the lateral flexion worked well, or opening up the chest, or maybe just keeping the arms high to the sky. One more breath here. Hands come into heart center, root down through your right heel and left knee. Imagine they're glued to the mat, but they're dragging together, so you get this nice lift. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee for a prayer twist. We're gonna hang out here for a breath or two, so get your foundation. Return back to the rate and depth of breath. Cool. And then tuck under your left toes, lift your left knee, come on up. And then bring your left heel down, bring your hands into prayer, and then warrior one. Awesome. One more breath here. Make it full. And then as you exhale, frame your right foot meets left plank pose. Go ahead, take it through your flow. Or skip it and come into downward dog, or take a child's pose. You know I gotcha. Two more breaths.
Beautiful. Lift your left leg high to the sky. Bend your left knee if you would like. Maybe make circles with the knee or the ankle. Left leg comes high. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Drop your right knee. And then bring your left hand to the inside of the left thigh and come out to the lateral side of your left foot. Once again, kind of find the depth of the stretch that you need without taking it too far. One more breath. Cool. All right, place your left foot down, left hand to the inside of the left foot. Tuck under right toes, right knee comes up. And then right foot comes to the outside of the right hand in this awkward forward fold. But it has its place. And then walk your fingertips forward just a little bit, halfway lift. Heel, toe, feet, hips distance apart. Fold. And then reach up, rise up. Arms come up high to the sky. Nice full inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. And then bring your arms up. Find your chair pose. Hands come into heart center. I can show this on the side. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. So now you have your twist. Come up onto your right toes. Take a nice full inhale. Maybe look at your left toes. Exhale. And then when your next inhale happens, step your right foot back into your high runner's lunge. And if you fall out, it's all right. Some of us might take extra steps too. It might be like as well. So now you have your twist. And then set your right heel down. And slowly bring yourself up into a dragonfly pose. So reaching right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. And then have your left hand meet your right parallel. And then reach your arms up high to the sky. Bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, make a fist, pull your fist down. And then as you exhale, fold forward, torso over left thigh. If you want, you can release your hands and come into a lightning warrior, or take your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee, drop your head for our little humble warrior. Your choice. Beautiful. And then no matter where you're at, slowly come on up. Bring your arms up overhead. Straighten your left leg and frame your left foot with both hands in your pyramid pose. Have a nice flat back first before you decide to fold deeper. If you want to, this is your practice, you can bring your right foot in a little bit or rotate your right toes forward. Kind of suss around, find what you need, and then find some stillness. One more breath here. And then bend into your left knee. Bring your left hand or left foot with both hands. Step left foot back to meet right plank pose. Make a choice. How do you want to flow? Or skip it and meet in the downward dog. Two more breaths. And then reach your right leg high to the sky. Right foot to the outside of the right hand. Drop your left knee. All right, right hand to the inside of the right thigh. Allow your right knee to come out to the side. And then bend your left knee so the left foot is coming up towards the ceiling. And take your right hand and reach back for your left foot. So now you're in your corkscrew pose. Good times. So if this is too much, because this can be a little intense on the left quad, just reach back or have your foot come down. You know, so kind of find the sweet spot that'll work for you. You can come out of this too. One more breath. Don't lose the rate and depth of the breath, because we're twisting the torso a lot here. You can kind of compromise your full breath. All right, and then when you're ready, right foot comes down, right hand comes to the inside of the right foot, tuck under left toes, left knee comes up, left foot to the outside of the left hand in this awkward forward fold. Hands come forward, halfway lift, heel, toe, feet underneath hips, fold forward. And then reach up, rise up, arms come up high to the sky, nice full inhale. Find your chair pose as you exhale. Woo! Wordy. And then hands come into heart center. Maybe sink a little lower. And then left hand to the outside of the right knee. All right. You can look at your right foot if you want, but not yet. It's up to you. Come up onto your left toes. If you're not already looking at your right foot, exhale. Look at your right foot. And then when you're ready, slowly step your left foot back. So now you're in your high runner's lunge with a twist. Cool. Set your left heel down. And then reach your left arm forward, right arm back. Look out over your left fingertips. You've got this. Maybe sink a little lower. And then right hand meets left. Arms come up to the sky. Two more breaths here. Maintain your foundation. Arms come behind the back, interlace the fingers, point your fist down, look on up. Start coming over your right thigh. Stay here. Or drop right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, humble warrior. And then when you're ready, come on up. Warrior one. Straighten your right leg, frame your right foot with your hands, pyramid pose. Once again, find a nice halfway long flat back before you fold forward. And then make choices. Where does your left foot need to be to serve you best? You need to turn your left foot in. You need to walk it closer. Can you root down through your right toe a little bit more? Can you bend a little softer in your right knee so you're not locking out your entire leg? Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bend into your right knee. Right foot meets left, plank pose. Make a choice. How do you want to flow? Skip it, go to downward dog, or take your child's pose. Two more breaths left. Beautiful. Lift your left leg high to the sky. Left foot steps to the outside of the left hand. Drop your right knee. You know where this is going. So bring the left hand to the inside of the left thigh. Stay here. Or if you're ready, bend the right knee. Reach the left hand back for your right foot. A little corkscrew action. And you might notice a difference between your left and right, and don't try to force them to be the same, because it's not going to serve anyone, and it doesn't have to be the same. Just kind of where you're at. One more breath here. And then slowly release. You know where this is going. Left foot comes all the way down. Left hand to the inside of the left foot. Tuck under right toes. Right knee lifts. Right foot to the outside of the right hand. In your awkward forward fold, walk your hands forward. Halfway lift heel, toe, feet underneath, hips forward, fold. Reach up, rise up, arms come up nice high to the sky. Nice full inhale, fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step both feet back into plank pose, lower down so slowly. It takes forever. But if you're not there already, go ahead, lower yourself all the way down. All right. Bring your hands together behind the small of your back, chin is on the chest, interlace your fingers, and point your fist down to your feet. And then when you're ready, lift your chin, lift your chest. Another cycle of breath. And then as you exhale, slowly release. And then on your next inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, send your fist back to your feet, maybe lift your feet. Keep the glutes relaxed. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Grip is still in your low back. And then when you're ready, lift your chin, lift your chest, lift your fist, lift your feet. And then if you can, start bending your knees, ungrasp your fist and take a hold of your feet, coming into your full bow expression. Come up a little higher. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Beautiful. All right, from here, lift up, come into plank pose. Bring your right forearm to the mat, then your left forearm onto the mat for a forearm plank. And then right hand comes where the right, underneath right shoulder, left hand underneath left shoulder. Right forearm comes down, left forearm comes down. Right hand, left hand full plank. Right forearm, left forearm. Right hand, left hand. One more time, right forearm, left forearm. Right hand, left hand, full plank. Downward dog. Cool. Reach your right leg high to the sky and bring your right knee to the back of your right wrist. Left heel by left hip for pigeon pose. All right, come up nice and tall here. And before we find a reclined pigeon, or before you find your reclined pigeon, maybe play around a little bit. So right hand underneath the face. Bend your left knee and reach your left foot back for your left hand back for your left foot. Maybe bring the left heel into the glute. If you want, maybe the left hand goes into the crook of the elbow. Maybe you reach your right arm up for a mermaid pose. But find a spot that serves you. Sometimes it feels good just to pump the left heel into the glute as well, just to get a little movement going. But I mean, find a spot that works for you. There's no right, there's no wrong. It might feel good just to open up to the side. And then no matter where you're at, slowly rotate. So both the hands are underneath the shoulders. Sit up nice and tall, maybe look up. And then slowly walk forward, finding a reclined pigeon pose or sleeping swan. And you'll be here for a full 90 seconds. So return back to the rate and depth of breath that you set at the beginning of your practice. About another minute left. So see if you can make your inhales long and your exhales just a little bit longer. Okay, about 15 more seconds. On your next exhale, exhale everything out and then allow your inhale to bring yourself up. Tuck under your left toes. Take your right leg high to the sky, three-legged downward dog. And bend your right knee, open up your right hip. Maybe peek under your left shoulder and say hi to your right foot. And then find your downward dog. If you want, you can shift forward into plank and then back into downward dog. Or take a flow. Don't let me stop you. Cool beans. All right, take your left leg high to the sky and bend your left knee. And then when you're ready, left knee comes behind your left wrist. Left heel to right hip. Come up nice and tall. Okay, you can do the same thing. And once again, what you could do on one side, it might be different from the other side. So you might find yourself being able to go deeper here. Left hand underneath your face. Bend your right knee, bring your right heel to your glute. Bring the heel in a little bit closer if you would like. And then you can play around. Does the right foot feel comfortable in the crook of the elbow? Does a full mermaid expression serve you? Or does it feel good to kind of just pump back and forth? Kind of make some choices here that will work best for you. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders, come up nice and tall. And then in your own way, slowly start walking forward into your reclined pigeon or sleeping swan pose, where you will find stillness for the next 90 seconds. Halfway there. About 15 seconds left. And then when you're ready, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck under your right toes. Send your left leg high to the sky. Maybe bend your left knee. Take a peek at your left foot underneath your right shoulder. And then find a traditional downward dog. And then walk your feet to the back of your hands. And slowly come into a seated pose, hugging knees into the chest. And then lowering down one vertebra at a time. And once you get here, suss around a little bit. Really get rooted and grounded on your hips and underneath your shoulders. Maybe slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. Hug the knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side. All right, play around here, hugging your knees in close or maybe taking them wide. And then take your arms out to a T. And then when you're ready, no matter if you're wide or closed knee, take your knees over to your right side. So you might find that your right foot comes on top of your left knee if you took a wide knee stance. If you took a closed knee stance, then your knees are stacking on top of each other. So kind of find the twist that'll work for you. And then if you would like, you can look out over your left fingers. And then when you're ready, slowly come back into center. Hug the knees into the chest. And find the spacing that'll serve you best. Before you take your knees back out to a T, or arms out to a T, and allow your knees now to fall over to the left side. And then once you're there, maybe take your gaze out over your right hands if that's what will serve you. Maybe your left foot is hooked onto your right knee, or if you're closed kneed, your right knee is stacked on top of your left. There's no right or wrong, just what you need. And if you're into traditional Chinese medicine, my earth must be high because I got Sing Songy on you. So I might be having a little more earth element going on. And then in your own way, you slowly come back into center, hug your knees into your chest, gently rock from side to side. And then if you would like, you can take a happy baby, or if you feel ready for an inversion, take your legs up to the sky. And find an inversion that'll serve you, but you can always stay in happy baby as well. When you're ready, slowly come out of your inversion. Maybe give your knees another good squeeze. And then extend your legs long. You can bring your arms up overhead and give yourself a nice full body stretch. And then bring your arms down to the side as you settle into your final pose of Shavasana. For the next few breaths here, I want you to return back to the rate and depth of your breath. If you can try for at least 3 times. And then allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm. But if you don't make it to the 3, that's fine. And then I'll hold space for you here and call you back when it's time. All right, yogis. Take a nice full inhale in through the nose. Maybe imagine that space in between your eyebrows as you inhale. Sigh it out as you exhale. Make any of the movements that you need before finding yourself on your right side. And stay here for a cycle of breath. And then use your left hand to push yourself up, coming into a seated position. Meet with your hands in heart center and give yourself a soft bow as you end your practice with some beautiful cycles of breath. I honor this place inside of me in which the entire universe dwells. It is a place of love, peace, and kindness. And when I am in this place in me and you are in this place in you, together we are one. Namaste.